All right. Welcome to Front Porch Radio. My name is Julie Wilder, and we have a great program in store for you today. But before we get into today's conversation, I want to pause on some recent news you may have seen. How could you not have? That was the disturbing story about the Charlie Cook assassin and the alt-right infighting. And I'm bringing it up because it connects directly to a conversation I had back in January here on Front Porch Radio with author and cultural historian Gary Lockman, who wrote Dark Star Rising, a bunch of, he's written a bunch of things. He's also a former bandmate in Blondie, which is a very interesting tie-in. But in that episode, we explored how online subcultures, memes like Pepe the Frog, and pop culture synchronicities have quietly shaped political movements. At the time, it almost felt embarrassing to be discussing something as seemingly random as a frog meme. But as we're now learning from the coded messages the CK killer left, these symbols carry real influence and sometimes very real consequences. If you're curious to understand the darker undercurrents of the internet and how they impact our world today, I encourage you to go back and listen to that January episode. It can be found on Substack. You can just find, search for Front Porch Radio, and I pinned it to the top so you can find it pretty easily. And for me, it is another reminder of why it matters to stay curious, to seek out perspectives beyond our usual circles, and to talk with people who know things that we don't, so we can better understand what's happening in context. And with that spirit of curiosity, we turn now to today's show. Every September, Central Florida becomes a gathering place for stories that matter, films that challenge us, inspire us, and connect us to one another. The Global Peace Film Festival is back this week, September 16th through 21st, with screenings both in person and online. Joining us again is Nina Streich, the festival's founder and director. Nina has built this festival on the belief that film can be more than entertainment. It can be a bridge between awareness and action. Today, she'll share highlights from this year's lineup, and we're going to just kind of get into it. We did a whole program last week because it's the Global Peace Film Festival. They get 2 shows every time. And so you can find that where we went in depth into some of the films also on the Substack for Front Porch Radio, and listen to that whole podcast. But we're going to go into some more today. So if you've ever wondered, I'm tripping over my words. If you've ever wondered how a movie can spark real world change, or just want a guide to the films that you won't want to miss this week, then this conversation for the common good on Front Porch Radio is for you. Welcome back, Nina.
As always, it's great to be here with you, Julie.
Yeah, absolutely. So on last week's show, we dropped that Nina was, you have to listen to it. Everyone go back and listen to the podcast because she gives a real to life, something I had never learned about her before. She was the one at 26 years old who cut the trailer. 24 years old, cut the trailer for American Gigolo, which I have not seen yet, but I went and watched the trailer after we talked. And Nina, you are a legend. It's like one of the first early female gays editing cuts in the industry. I can only imagine. I mean, I don't know how you would claim that for real, but I mean,
I don't claim that for real at all.
I'll claim it for you.
I just know that when I saw the film, Richard Gere was hot. And that was it was my female gaze.
Yeah, it was good. After I watched it, I was like, oh, I need to have a movie marathon and watch this. And just find the American Gigolo trailer. It's available online.
And you posted something on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram too, did you post it?
I think I just posted on my private Facebook page. But it is worth the look-see is all I will say. And I wonder if Richard Gere I'm sure he doesn't know that you were the one behind that, but it's just crazy.
Well, we did have a recording session where he's talking in the trailer. That was recorded separately, not part of the film. It was special. He read the script. So I did meet him back then at the age of 24.
I'm fanning myself. Back when he was a young
hot guy.
And in the American Gigolo, I have to watch it because he's just like, oh, darling, you're just so amazing. And he's just like, oh, he's just, yeah.
He's a gigolo.
Hey, so great. Anyway, back to today's programming.
Back to reality.
Yeah, Global Peace Film Festival. Tomorrow is the big
Tomorrow's the opening day.
opening day at the Enzian.
Uh-huh.
Tell
6
everybody,
p.m.
yeah, what is the show? How can they buy tickets? And I know we talked a little bit about it last week, but people weren't
So,
listening last week that are listening
well,
now.
that not only that, but people don't remember from last week either.
Right, that happens.
So the website is peacefilmfest.org, and you just scroll down. The image on the top of the page is of Lily Ledbetter. Well, actually, it's Patricia Clarkson who plays Lily Ledbetter in the film, and the film is called Lily. It's basically about Lily Ledbetter from the time she was a manager in a Alabama tire factory, through her lawsuit for sexual discrimination, because she found out right before she was going to retire, she found out that she was being paid so much less than the men doing equal work, and she decided to fight it, and because it impacted her retirement, of course, and she fought it all the way to the Supreme Court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote a dissenting decision about the fact that she didn't prevail. But when Barack Obama became president, the first piece of legislation that he signed into law was the Lily Ledbetter Act. I think we're both stumbling over our words today.
It happens. It's because we have a microphone in front of us. Oh, so a legendary, crusader for women's rights, that ended up, changing history.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's the first first film in our program. We have another spectacular woman in the next film that we have, that's on Wednesday evening, 6:30 in Bush Auditorium here on Rollins College campus. It's called She Runs the World, and that is a film about a documentary this time about the track and field star Allyson Felix, the most decorated Olympic track and field star in history, who, when she got pregnant, her Nike sponsor wanted to cut her sponsorship by an enormous amount because she was pregnant, and she decided to fight. And the film tells you about her life from beginning to how she began as a track, running track, and how she broke records, and her family life, her business life, and eventually what she did after. And she continued after she had the baby. She continued to win championships, including world championships.
Like a baddie.
Yeah. And, like so many other women athletes now, I mean, you look at the U.S. Open just a couple of weeks ago, and there were more mothers who went far in the tournament than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just great news for women.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was industry disrupting in that, instead of going after an endorsement after that, she was like...
She started her own company.
She's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to start my own company and do my own line and forget the endorsement. Yep. I'm going to get the whole kit and caboodle.
The whole enchilada.
Yeah.
And also something about the line that she started, track shoes for the major sportswear companies are the same basically dynamics for the foot for men and women. But she decided to basically design a line specifically for women's feet. So she went further. Plus, another thing that the filmmakers are passionate about, because she had a troubled pregnancy. And so the impact campaign for the film is about maternal health.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've always loved and admired about the Global Peace Film Festival. Oftentimes you will, pair each of the films with a nonprofit organization or, something like that to help, drive more activism and advocacy and ways that people can get involved.
Well, our tagline is "It starts here," because we want people to basically take what they've seen and do something about it for, something positive about it in their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's volunteer for an organization, whether it's just find out more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And after this is the 23rd year,
Yeah.
23 years
Yeah.
of doing the Global Peace Film Festival here in Central Florida. And it is always full of interesting stories that you can't find necessarily in, the regular movie theater with big releases. These are independent films with smaller budgets. Oftentimes, although you have some really stellar, like big ones in there this year and in several in years past too. But it's a really great way to. I don't know. I think we've been shifting in our society from kind of like this one over story that was kind of brokered by the people who had control of the microphones and the televisions, right? And now we're going into this multi-story kind of reality where we're hearing from voices and seeing gazes and perspectives and um, and 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 life stories from people of all different walks of life, being able to just get their I don't know, their story, their film, their history out there in ways that maybe wasn't possible in the past.
Yeah, there are so many ways to disseminate information these days, and a lot of them we wouldn't want to go down those rabbit holes, but a lot of but it's good to have some positive influences, and that's what we try to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, what's the next film that you're excited about?
Well, let me talk about our visit from Barbara Koppel, who's
Okay.
a two-time Academy Award-winning filmmaker, two-time feature documentary Academy Award-winning filmmaker. We're showing two of her films, and she's going to be here with them. The first one is called Gumbo Coalition, that's showing at 7 o'clock on Thursday in Bush Auditorium. That's Thursday, the 18th of September. And it is a film about two civil rights leaders in Louisiana. And following them, she followed them for about 3 years, both personally in their homes and their lives and their family lives, as well as in organizing. And so it's a really great portrait. One of the people they follow is Mark Morial, the president of the National Urban League, and I'm expecting the president of the local chapter of the Urban League to join Barbara to answer questions. I'm not. She said she would come. Fingers crossed. And Barbara would really like her to come.
Yeah,
because Barbara is like, I want to know what the Central Florida Urban League is doing.
right. Absolutely. And what day and time is that?
That's 7 o'clock Thursday, September 18th, which is this coming Thursday.
And the films are For the Living?
Actually, this is the one at Bush.
Okay.
Gumbo Coalition.
Gumbo Coalition. Okay.
So I'll get to For the Living because we also have the filmmakers from that film coming in person. And that is an absolute. Let me get to Barbara's second film,
Okay.
which is her first Academy Award-winning film called Harlan County, USA, which is about a miners' strike in the mid-'70s in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
It is an extraordinary film. It's actually her first feature film, and she won an Academy Award for it. It is often on people's 100 top films of the last 100 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's in the Library of Congress, in the film registry. And basically what is said about it, and I have to find the quote, just a second.
I have faith in you, Nina.
If Barbara Koppel had made no other film than this account of the 1974 Kentucky strike of Kentucky mine workers, her place in history would be assured.
Wow.
So that's what people say about her, and I did not silence my phone, so I am going to do that right now.
I wasn't going to say anything out loud. I figured you heard it.
Well, it comes through. It comes through my computer.
That is the joy of having an independent basement radio. program that is a beloved treasure in this community is that we take ourselves very seriously and also not very seriously at all.
Hopefully nobody calls.
Yeah, we don't need to be so formal, but we do want to,
Yeah.
It's
So
so many shows are
now.
so polished. We like to be a little rough around the edges and still get good work done.
So anyway, back to the program. So Harlan County, USA, that is at 5:30 on Friday, September 19th, in Bush Auditorium as well.
Okay, and the Bush Auditorium is here at Rollins College.
Is here on Rollins College campus. For people who are not students who are coming from the community, you walk in the gate at Interlaken and Fairbanks, and there will be directional signs right on the campus, but it's actually the first right into a building as soon as you get onto campus.
Okay. Good information to have for people who aren't familiar.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing about Global Peace Film Festival is that you every year you partner with Rollins, with Indian.
We have a wonderful relationship with Rollins College and really appreciate, the faculty members, the students, the administration. This is our 20th year on campus here.
Right. Yeah, it's been incredible, and it's certainly been able to help, bring these films to light and continue to support good things happening in the world, which it's always been what I've been about. So I'm just so excited that, how special is it that we get to be the ones that have this festival here in Central Florida? Like, this is the only place that this festival happens.
Right.
And it puts us on the map. I love it. Disney may have had a part in the Kissimmee portion. But Global Peace Film Festival is what we're known all over the world for.
I wish.
I love it. Well, it's important work. And, one of the things that people can get overwhelmed by, like, there's so many problems, there's so many issues going on in the world. And, you can't be everything to everybody. But what I love about this is that you look at so many different issues. And it's like people can find the one thing that breaks their heart or calls them or inspires them and plug into that.
And we've always had a really broad interpretation of peace, and it really starts within each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite things that when I hear somebody say, "Gosh, I wouldn't have thought of that in a Global Peace Film Festival," because peace can be, everywhere and everything. So a lot of our programming is not necessarily what you'd expect to find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, those of you that know, and those of you that don't, you need to come check it out because that's where all the cool stuff is. And I'm excited. Well, I'm not gonna preempt you. You go ahead and talk about the next film you want to talk about.
Oh, what are you excited about?
Well, I'm still so excited about the one where he talks to the stingray.
Not stingray, it's manta ray. Giant manta ray.
Are they different?
They are very different.
Okay.
There's no stinger in a giant manta ray.
Oh, fantastic.
And the giant manta ray can be like 20 feet from tip to tip of their wings.
Oh my gosh, they're giant.
Yeah, they're giant.
Yeah.
Giant manta ray. They're called giant for a reason. They're huge. And it's just an extraordinary film. That one is on Friday. At the Winter Park Library, which is the other venue, and we've partnered with the Winter Park Library, not quite 20 years, but almost.
Mm-hmm.
And it is at 7:30 at the Winter Park Library, and it's an extraordinary film. This man, his name is Terry Kennedy. He has a amazing backstory that's a little complicated, and he basically retreated to live on a boat or be able to go out sailing whenever he wanted and diving. He was more comfortable underwater than he was on top of the, on land. And he literally befriended a giant manta ray who he named Willie Wow.
Willie Wow.
Uh-huh. And Willie Wow would come up to when his boat went out, Willie Wow would come and hit the side of the boat with one of his wings, and Terry would know he had rushed to put on his gear, dive in, and Willie Wow would take him for a ride. I mean, he's literally
Like bareback riding that's
His
incredible.
tanks underwater.
Wow.
And then Willie Wow would bring him right back to the boat.
Wow.
And the photography is spectacular. The film premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival and won Best Cinematography Award. So for any photographers out there, it's really worth seeing. It's beautiful.
It sounds like a perfect date night. I'm going to be taking a date that night.
And there's also a local connection because one of the producers, the production companies behind the film is called Common Pictures, and they're based right here in Orlando.
I love it.
So they will be here. They will be on hand. The director won't be here, unfortunately, but Common Pictures will be here. Representatives from Common Pictures will be here.
Okay. And what about the one that's showing at the Winter Park Library directly before that, the Invisible Man?
That's a beautiful film as well. It's about bats, and it's about
they're so cute.
Yes. I know it's exactly how I feel about them, but they're really positive. They make a big difference in agriculture. They eat the bugs and save billions of dollars for farmers, among other things. And so the film follows a group of women bat conservation scientists.
Well, look at the ladies. They're just going everywhere, aren't they?
Well, we also actually, this year's, I just counted it up for somebody. This year's festival, we're showing a total of 24 films, and 13 of them are directed or co-directed by women.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
wasn't necessarily intentional.
No.
Yeah.
That was just how we programmed.
That was a post picture audit.
Actually, if we add up all the films that we've shown since the very first year, where for 23 years, we're still at roughly 50% women. If you add the producers in as well, it's probably more than 50%.
Which is incredible because that's certainly not the percentage of women represented in film.
Well, I have to say...
Maybe it's that female gaze of yours.
Nah, it's not that. I have to say this is the sort of flip side of the positive, which is that a lot of these films are made on much smaller budgets than films that men get to direct.
That's true.
Most of the films that we show were films that are made because the filmmaker had a passionate commitment to the subject, spent years of their lives raising money, filming, working hard to get, to put the film together, to get it out, and very often on a shoestring.
Right.
Or their own money.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you're doing the good things. You're doing the right things in the right ways, and I'm super excited for it. Let's remind everyone, because we're about halfway through the program, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Front Porch Radio. My name is Julie Wilder. And my guest today is Nina Streich. She's the founder and
Festival director
of the Global Peace Film Festival, celebrating its 23rd year in Central Florida. And tomorrow's premiere night, there's films online, there's films
Actually, the films online are the week after the festival.
Okay, so you got to wait for the online films. Those are next week, you guys.
Yeah.
But this is it. This is the week. We've got tomorrow is opening at Enzian, and then the films that we're talking about are happening this week.
And they're either on campus at Rollins in the Bush Auditorium or at the Winter Park Library. And then on the weekend, we have a new program called Urban Fest 360, and that's taking place out on I Drive at Afro TV, which is right next to the Titanic Experience.
Okay, that is.
And that's 2 days of programming and music and all kinds of things. They have lots of films out there.
And if you want to find more while we're talking, you can go to, what is it?
peacefilmfest.org.
Okay, peacefilmfest.org. And that leads you to like the overarching organization. You can see all the different things. I just click on the like little banner at the top that says the Peace Film Festival, and it takes me right to the schedule for this week. Okay, cool. So we've gone over several really good films.
I want to talk about the Thursday program at the Winter Park Library, because we have filmmakers from all both of the films there, So actually, we have filmmakers from all the films on Thursday at Bush as well. The first film in Bush Auditorium is a film called Making Waves, and it's showing with a short film called Loyal American, and they're both about Asian Americans. At the library, there's a film called Abraham's Bridge that's also playing with a short film called Fiddler on the Moon, Judaism in Space. The great title.
I have questions.
Yes, exactly. That's what it's about.
I was just talking about Fiddler on the Roof I think last night for some reason. So that's interesting.
So this is Fiddler on the Moon, which is a really great title, and it's a really interesting film. If you like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's one of the talking heads in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's about how do you practice your religion if you're on the space shuttle and orbiting the Earth over and over again when your observance is related to sunup or sundown.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Yes. So many of the tied to the calendar, the Earth calendar. And then if there is no Earth calendar, what do you do?
It's like, sun up, sundown.
Yeah.
Sun up, sundown.
And you're like, well, I'm floating in space. Oh, wow. So
fascinating.
Very fascinating. Okay.
And Abraham's Bridge is about an interfaith center in Nebraska that had, on this huge plot of land, the community built a church, a synagogue, and a mosque, and an interfaith center, all connected by a wooden circular bridge. And in the middle is a community garden.
Where do you find these films? This is so fascinating. Like, there's so many slices of life that's also one of the things. Sometimes you have films that look at problems. Other times you look at films that are healing from those problems.
We always like to find films that show solutions, things that people can do.
Yeah.
That's part of it starts here, that we want, that we don't, we could show depressing films all day long.
Well,
but it doesn't help us.
Turn on the news, everyone.
Right, exactly.
Or you can turn into Front Porch Radio where we talk about solutions. That's part of it. Conversations for the Common Good is like focusing on solutions, for sure. And what a beautiful microcosm that you found. Literally, as we're talking about the cosmic, this is a space film. But also talking about the intersection of faith and science. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Ooh, I know someone that's listening that was going to like that one, I think.
So then on Saturday, and so I've gone over the Friday environmental films, the film about bats, which is really interesting. I learned so much about it.
That's amazing.
They are amazing,
and they're at risk. And I think
this is one of the things that the film is about. Is these bat conservation scientists are really working to prevent the mass extinction.
Yeah, the first time I learned about that, I was like going into a cave in the Carolinas, and they were like, bat fungal, you had to be careful.
It's called white nose syndrome.
Okay.
Or the thing that's happening now that's really killed millions and millions of bats.
Yeah. No good.
So
build a bat cave. Like, I have bats over my house at night. Like, I don't know where they live, but they must live somewhere nearby because I see them flying over. And I'm like, yay, bat. I actually found one, my patio umbrella. I went to go like roll it up, and there was like a bat up there clinging asleep, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a bat!" And so I slowly backed away, but and let it figure its way out. But now I'm very cautious when I open up my patio umbrellas. But it was so cute and furry, and they're so sweet.
Yeah. And they're really positive on the whole. I mean, they have a bad rap, and they scare people. But what they do, especially in agriculture, what they do to,
Anybody that eats mosquitoes is a friend of mine. That's what I have to say, Nina.
Yeah. So the Saturday program, we have three different programs in Bush Auditorium, and we have 4 different programs at the Winter Park Library, starting at 1:00 in the Winter Park Library with a series of mindfulness short films by a filmmaker who we've shown 3 or 4 of her films already in the festival. But this year she's coming in person. And so we're so excited to we've talked to her on Zoom, but we've never met her in person. So she will be here to talk about her new film, Broken and Beautiful, which is the last film, currently the last film in her mindfulness series that started with a film about kindergarten kids. And we're showing that film. It's called Just Breathe. And then her next one, which we're also showing in this program, is called Release, and that's like first and second graders. And then she has a film which we're not showing, about middle school kids and about high school kids and mindfulness classes in schools and how it helps the students. So Broken and Beautiful is actually a bit of a departure because it's an older woman who lost a child to gun violence, and the film shows about how her healing and uses the Japanese art of
You're gonna get it. It's
Kinaguchi. No,
Kintsugi.
Kintsugi. That's it. You got it.
Kintsugi.
Okay. Of Kintsugi, which is a very slow process of repairing, of putting back together something that's broken.
Yeah, and they usually use like gold or something like that just to accentuate how, it's like creating a beautiful scar.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah. And it takes weeks to do one little piece, weeks or even months. So that is just a lovely program of films. We have a film here with the filmmaker also coming about. It's called Lithium Rising, and it's about that stuff that we have in all our devices.
Lithium, you guys.
And not only lithium, but other rare earth minerals like copper and I'm forgetting the other one.
It's I think nickel.
Yes, you
nickel.
got it.
And maybe some cobalt or something like that.
And cobalt, yeah.
But it like most people are familiar with like drilling for oil and things like that, and then every once in a while you might hear a news report about like batteries, and you're like, I don't quite understand what they're saying, but like the superconductors.
It was just in the news last week with the battery, the lithium ion battery factory for Hyundai, with the 350 Korean, not Korean,
South Korean.
Yes, workers who were rounded up,
who were wrongly rounded up. They were here legally.
Yep.
And then since then, Hyundai's pulled out of America, billions of dollars of investments that they were going to put into America. And now all those factory workers who were American that had jobs, the people that were here were just training and setting things up. And now all of those American workers don't have jobs because Hyundai pulled out. And so there's this whole world around these superconductors of like where the mining is happening, so much going into it.
Yep. And for all those social entrepreneurs out there, and this is such a great community for social entrepreneurship, including you, Julie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like to stay on top of things.
We have a film called Man with Soul, The Impact of Kenneth Cole, the shoe designer, who in his advertising from the very beginning of his company was basically social issue advertising to make statements, and that it was cool to be cool, basically.
It's cool to care. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
like it's cool to care, and you don't have to be so.
And so this is a really in-depth portrait of him and how he built up his company and how he continued to use his voice for social good.
I had no idea. Kenneth Cole. He's
hmm
interesting. Okay.
I mean, in New York, his ads are on billboards, and
Right, right,
you
right,
you can't miss them. But if, elsewhere, probably not so much.
right.
Um, and our final film at the Winter Park Library, also with filmmakers coming, and this is also has a local connection. It's another film by that was partly executive produced by Common Pictures, um, is Natchez, about Natchez, Mississippi, and the racial reckoning that they're doing, because the historical uh, community of Natchez, with wearing hoop skirts and celebrating the plantation era, basically, and
We're going to put that in air quotes.
right,
The air quoted
the air quoted,
plantation
yes.
era. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then,
Beautiful film that
yeah.
won the best documentary award at the Tribeca Film Festival. So we're really honored to be able to show it here.
Yeah.
And the film immediately preceding that, we have a lot of our filmmakers coming, is a film about a Lower East Side gallerist, a man who was born in the Midwest somewhere, bicycled to New York City with, basically, pennies in his pocket, and fell in love with the art world, the Lower East Side art world in New York City, opened his own gallery. He was always more interested in the art and the artists and people understanding and learning and experiencing the art, no matter who they were. If he'd spend as much time with somebody who didn't have two pennies to rub together as he would with somebody who could buy a piece for a lot of money. And beautiful, beautiful portrait. And then
that one's called Man from
Pretensia.
I love it.
And if you come see the film, you'll find out what Pretensia is.
Okay.
And another filmmaker who's coming is Seth MacLellan, the director of Shiners, which is a lovely film that's won a lot of film festival awards. It follows a group of high school kids in Appalachia, who basically are they write their own play and perform in it and get into and basically expressing who they are, and they go into competitions. There goes my phone again.
We're going to pretend like it's not happening.
Yes,
Kenneth.
Those are text payments.
Turn on. We should have done what is
it? It never turns up.
We needed the movie prequel reminding us to turn it off.
Well, yeah, I did turn my phone off.
Is it coming through your
computer?
But
it comes through my computer, and there's nothing I can do about it.
It's fine. She's a popular lady.
So anyway.
Yeah, it's telling. So you've got stories from all over.
All over.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is a more United States based. The director of Man from Pretensia, by the way, is Taiwanese.
Okay.
And the really interesting story about her is she was fairly new in the United States when she made it, and her language wasn't as good as it is now. And she, as a real outsider, just really fell in love with this world.
Yeah. And
she was originally just hired to do an interview with this guy, and she found him so fascinating that it grew into a feature documentary.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that curiosity.
And she'll be with us.
Yeah, the curiosity that I talked about at the beginning of the show is, that's one of the reasons I do Front Porch Radio, is because I want to learn more about something,
like just tell me more. Curiosity is the best thing.
Yeah. Curiosity. There was a couple of characteristics. One day I realized after I became a parent, I'm in charge of figuring out delivering an adult to the world, and I was like, what are the characteristics that I feel like the most important things to instill? And one of them was curiosity. The other was creativity. And I forget what the other one was now, but those two are the basis, because I feel like they would lead to compassion and all of those other things. When you're asking questions,
empathy,
having empathy, all those things. If you have curiosity and you also have creativity, where you can kind of create your way out of a problem or around it or design a new thing, then you've got it.
And you have raised an amazing child
I'll take
who
that.
is on the verge of adulthood.
He's pretty cool. I have to say.
We've known each other since
before Max was
before
even a
Max was
thing.
even. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Before Max, can you imagine? I can't even imagine. There was a lifetime I had before I even knew I was going to have this amazing kid that is just like the center of my world right now. And yeah, she's dreaming of leaving me. That's what they do, all those kids. It's fine. We're going to be fine. I'm going to bring her to some of these movies. Get those.
Maybe she'll come to some on her own that
Yes.
she'll get inspired.
Well, when she
Which is what
when
we
she
hope
can
people will
officially
do.
drive the car, she would be like, "I'm out of here, Mom. I'm going to go see the movies." So we'll have to go together because I have to drive her, but it's okay. Man, this is an incredible lineup. I have to say, like
It's smaller than we've had. It's the smallest lineup we've had in, I think, well, the second year, I've barely had 2 pennies to rub together myself. And
Right.
so it was a very small festival just to be a placeholder, basically. But since then, this is the smallest lineup we've had, and we've been bringing it down so that people have more opportunity to see more percentage of the program if they want to come to a lot of films.
Yeah.
If we have, you have 3 different places running against, running opposite each other.
Right.
I'm always very flattered and excited and pleased when somebody says, I want to see everything and I can't see everything.
Yeah, because the films are running against each other.
Yeah.
But this year you've got a great lineup.
We only have, there's only a choice of 2 places, and so you can see more than half the lineup.
Yeah, it is. And it's a really good lineup. I mean, I've been obviously invested in a long time in what you're doing, and I'm definitely like, oh, these are so good this year. And I mean, it's good every year, of course, but it can be hard to decide which one to do because it could be overwhelming. So this is just really great. I have a question. So let's remind everyone again, Front Porch Radio, I'm Julie Wow, Nina Streich here from Global Peace Film Festival in its 23rd year. The films that we're talking about are happening this week. The opening night is tomorrow at the Enzian, and then there's a whole schedule between the Winter Park Library and the Bush Auditorium here in Rollins College. Peacefilmfestival.org.
No, peacefilmfest.org.
Peacefilmfest.org. Now, I had some questions for you for the filmmakers because we have a lot of people interested in making film here in Central Florida. And what kind of advice, what is your process of selecting, like, how do you encourage people, like, what are some of the common mistakes? Let's talk to the filmmakers who might want to be in your festival or any festival in the future. Like, how can you've been doing this for 23 years, you've seen everything.
I think you sort of described it: curiosity, inquiring mind, empathy. And if there's something that you're interested in and you think it would make a good film, just start shooting. You can start on your phone. You can start with nothing, but if you don't start putting it on some kind of, if you don't start saving some kind of recording, you're not going to have anything. So just start. Yeah.
Don't wait until you're ready.
Don't wait. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Just get going. Okay. Yeah. And everyone's got
storytelling. I mean, what makes a great film is the story, and you have to really think about story first and last.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I mean, come on. After 23 years, what is the worst thing you've ever seen? Like, what should people not do?
We've had submissions. Basically, the way you program a film festival is first you go to other film festivals. If you're in the film business, other filmmakers and you know what they're doing, and you spread the word, word of mouth. So some of the submissions we get are from filmmakers who reach out to us. Either they've been in the festival before, or they know us from something, or somebody's recommended the festival. And then you have an open submission process. And there's a site called filmfreeway.com, and there are about 300,000 filmmakers who are registered on that. It's free to register unless you decide to pay for a higher level of access. And there are about several thousand film festivals on it. I think over 2,000 film festivals listed on it. We're on it. And when it's time to put out a call for submissions, we open our call for submissions in January. We close submissions at the beginning of June or middle of June. And we get we get submissions from around the world. You never know what you're going to get. And in the early years, we would get, talking about the bad, we would get somebody put a video camera in a lecture and they sent it in because it was about peace.
A lecture about peace. Okay.
Bad.
Yes. No. Yeah. Storytelling. She did.
Yeah.
say.
There was no story in that.
Yeah.
We've had some of the weirdest films. We had a horror film, and this was a really early year. We had a horror film that was submitted. What on earth possessed this filmmaker to submit a horror film to a peace film festival? So we actually had a correspondence, and I asked them, and they said, "Well, they eat rich people."
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Not 100% on message. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one thing I haven't asked you about, but I know like there's been a lot of controversy around AI lately. Does the Global Peace Film Festival have a policy on that?
No,
not
yet. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to not have some AI intrude in some way in things. I mean, I don't use ChatGPT or anything yet myself. I sort of prefer to do my own research, although everybody tells me how incredible it is. And
it's got its plus and its minuses.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just be like, I love everything about it. I mean, there's lots of problems there, but there's also, makes things go a little bit quicker.
Yeah. I mean, I've read some ChatGPT resumes from people I know who just did it for a laugh.
Right.
And it's like, wow, they got you.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Like shocking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would imagine in like editing processes, there's a lot of automation anyway, just to help with the editing.
I used to edit on film, so it was.
You're like, that's my version of. I used to paste up the newspaper because I was the editor of my school paper. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like there was something tactile about it that I loved.
Yeah, the analogness of it all.
Yeah. But absolutely, I mean, nonlinear editing has made things so much easier for editors. You can try things and save previous versions and go back to things that you did before with what I did. The minute you took it apart, you lost what you'd just done unless you took it to the lab and struck a print. We would strike black and white, what we called silent answer prints off of them.
Yeah, and so now the editing's different, but I would wonder. I mean, just by looking at your roster, it doesn't look like you have any like AI like fully done films.
No, we don't have that, and I don't know. We wouldn't not include. We don't have a policy on it, and I don't think we will come up with a policy on it. We have, not as part of the festival, but we've had a film about advanced computer science and where it's taking, where it's leading and stuff. Not specifically AI, not only AI, and I'm sure there's going to be things coming out that discuss it.
Yeah.
And
it'll be interesting. Yeah. I just wondered.
Interesting. Yeah.
I was like, there's people are debating online all the time about it. Yeah. You never.
It's such an important discussion because it's, it's unregulated at the moment, and what can it, where can it go?
Right, and copyright issues. There's
Yeah,
so much to we won't go into it here, but I just wondered if
that's
if
like
that had
that's
come
a
up for
week.
you.
That's like a month of programs.
Maybe there'll be like an all AI film festival one day. Someone will do that'll be
There's
interesting.
New York Women in Film is having a summit about AI, like
Okay.
I think it's even next week.
Oh, okay.
So they have a lot of speakers, a lot of people who are, doing blockchain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really followed it because I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
I'll go.
You're like,
I-
I'm
if I was-
invested in what's happening in Winter Park today.
Yes, definitely. Uh-huh.
Oh, well, we love to have you. I guess I have a couple of questions for you. Because you come down, you're a New Yorker,
Yeah.
and you come down here every year for the festival.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. What are some of the things that you make sure that you hit up when you come into town? Because I know that as a New Yorker, you're used to like certain foods and different things like that. I'm just so curious. This is kind
Well,
of like your
I have a whole range of stuff, and I don't do the same things every time. And I have a lot of friends down here, so seeing friends is very important. This trip, I'm not going to get out to the beach at all, but usually I like to go out for sunset on like New Smyrna Beach or something, someplace, or Daytona. This trip, I've been to Tamarind twice,
delicious.
which I love.
Yeah.
But I like eating out there. The food scene here has gotten so good.
I know.
I mean,
It's out of this world. It's out of this world.
and I used to know Phil Rosenthal before he was before he moved to LA. He was a New Yorker. I mean, you can tell from his accent.
I don't know who.
Everyone Feed Phil on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And he did an episode about Orlando, and it is like the best promotion of Orlando that you've ever seen, because he eats his way through town with some of the restaurateurs, and Anna Escamani is one of the people who takes him, if I remember correctly, to Sampujita.
Right. She's been a guest on our program as well.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
And it's really worth looking up, because it's like a love letter to Orlando.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Everyone Feed Phil on Netflix.
Everyone Feed Phil on Netflix. Okay,
Uh-huh.
cool. Awesome. Yay. Well, is there anything else that you want to, because we only have like a few more minutes left. What else would you love to, our audience to know about the Global Peace Film Festival? Any of the films that we haven't mentioned yet?
We've pretty much gone through the program, and the program is all available, on the website, peacefilmfest.org. We also do, and then there's Saturday and Sunday at Afro TV on iDrive. There's the Urban Fest 360, so a lot more films out there. We also do monthly screenings in Luminary Green Park. This year, it's the first Wednesday of the month, so one's coming up in early October.
I think it's E.T.
I think so.
I'm into it.
And
when
then
was the last time you got to go see E.T.?
Yeah,
especially outside
on a big screen outside. I mean, what a great place to watch it. It's a 25-foot LED screen, so the films can actually start before sundown, because the LED screen is strong enough that it doesn't, that it's not like an old-fashioned blow-up screen.
Right.
So there's those. We do another series called Storytime Cinema in the Orlando Science Center for younger kids. This past Saturday, it's the second Saturday of the month. This past Saturday, they showed Charlotte's Web.
Oh, one of my childhood favorites.
Yes, so they're all like popular Hollywood kind of films that have some kind of peace message in them.
Yeah.
And there are other programs that are happening year round.
Yeah, and that's one of the amazing legacies of the work you've done. The Global Peace Film Festival has kind of grown and diversified, and is, Global Peace Film Festival is now just one of the festivals that the
right.
organization does.
And I had, when I was approaching the 20th year of the festival, I was like, well, I can't do this forever. And I won't feel that I was truly successful if I couldn't turn it over to somebody else to run it. And it continued beyond my tenure.
Right.
So David Wheeler, who took over the leadership of the organization, is the one who brought in these two programs I just mentioned, Kaleidoscope 360 and Storytime Cinema, and other programs are coming. And, it's great to have somebody local running it, because it hasn't been easy running it from 1,000 miles away or 900 and something miles away.
I know, but your dedication to the films, the filmmakers, and the festival and this community.
And the impact that the festival makes.
Yeah.
It's really it starts here is very much what it's about, is growing something, whatever that happens to be.
You took your own advice earlier. You said just start, and that's what you did. 23 years ago, you started with pretty much nothing and just an idea, and you've really forged relationships throughout the community that have persisted for over 2 decades. It's incredible.
And it's the only thing like it here. But in New York, you can find this kind of film every day of the week. So
right, absolutely. Yeah, I guess in New York, it would be hard to stand out. But here in Orlando, it's also so appreciated.
One of the things I love when I come down here, the arts community here is really vibrant, and it's really exciting to see how it's flourishing. I mean, with Blue Bamboo across the street at the old Winter Park Library building, I cannot wait to see how that develops and how that's going to bring community together. There are so many great organizations. We partner with a lot of the arts organizations, not just the Enzian, but we did a screening last week with the Holocaust Center in Maitland. It was actually shown at the Winter Park Public Library. Timucua Arts Foundation. I mean, there are so many great groups down here and doing such great things.
Yeah, it's true. And film in particular, we've got a lot of different film festivals, and Global Peace Film Festival is one of my personal favorites. If you are just tuning in, we're wrapping up the show, but you can go to Substack and find Front Porch Radio. We did another interview with Nina last week going over some of the films and got some personal details from her that were fascinating. And so you can find that program on Substack, and this one will be up probably by Wednesday. Thank you again, Nina. And
thank you as always, Julie.
At the movies.
Yes, tomorrow.
All right, you guys stay tuned. We've got another DJ setting up for the next show. And I need to get the automation going. I know what I'm doing. Here we go. Thanks for listening.